As the sun shines on all of my glory, my flaws don't look so bad at all. What was I so afraid of? 'Cause every part of me is a vision of a portrait of Mona Lisa. Every part of me is beautiful, and I finally see I'm a work of art, a masterpiece. Oh, 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 oh. Who is this I tried so long to find, filling my head with lies that I'm not good enough? Then I heard something in my ear tell me I'm perfect. Now that I know the truth, time to show. 'Cause every part of me is a vision of a portrait of Mona Lisa. Oh, every part of me is beautiful, and I finally see I'm a work of art, a masterpiece. Oh, 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 oh. Now I see the pretty colors on my canvas. I'm a work of art, a Mona Lisa. I'll share my picture with the world. I'm not afraid to let it show anymore. Oh, oh, let my colors paint the sky. There's so much beauty in my eyes. Oh, I can like the night. I can see it now. I can feel it now. I can like the night. Shine so bright. I'm a masterpiece. Oh, I am beautiful. I can like the night. Shine so bright. Every part of me is a vision of a portrait of Mona Lisa. Every part of me is beautiful. Now I finally see I'm a work of art, a masterpiece.
My hope and my prayer for you is that you finally see that you are a masterpiece, that you recognize how beautiful you are. Good afternoon. I am Reverend Sherri James, and I am the senior minister of this incredible community. And I am so glad that you are here with us on this Sunday afternoon. I want to welcome you through our virtual doors. Come on in, get relaxed. It's going to be an incredible service. Before we begin, let me just open with prayer. So right where you are, if you would just center yourself. So much work has gone into this moment to prepare the perfect service, to give you something that will not just sustain you for the day, but carry you through the week, to give you something that you may come back to again and again, to remind yourself that you are a masterpiece, that all of your flaws and good points and bad points and whatever in between points, that you are a work of art, that the sculptor has put you together in a most amazing way. May this service contribute to your awakening. May it awaken you to your deepest and most beautiful self. You that is connected to all there is, that has never been disconnected from God. You, the masterpiece. May you have a clearer conception of how amazing you are and how amazing God created you to be. Because we know that once you know yourself as God knows you, you can go forward and do the things that God has called you to do. And so we pray for your awakening, for a deeper understanding of who you really are. Thank you, God. We bless this service. We bless all of the elements that have gone into today. May all of it be for the glory of God. Thank you, God. I know you hear me when I pray, and so I trust that this is going to be a tremendous, amazing, over-the-top, incredible service in the name and nature of the one that we call the Christ. I affirm that this prayer is so, and so it is. And amen. We are the living legacy of the Reverend Dr. Delarice Lett. And this ministry is a continuation of a legacy that she established in her lifetime. And so I want to tell you a little bit about the community that you are a part of and just remind you, those that are already aware of our vision. This is our North Star. We have a vision to love every person up to their true identity and to their highest potential for the greater good of all. And we're on a mission to express God's divine love through teaching spiritual principles, worship services, fellowship activities, and community outreach. And our theme this year is Break Every Chain. I'll be giving the sermon today, and the message that I have for you, I'll tell you, this week has been an interesting week. I've talked to very different groups of people. I've talked to my mastermind group, my Ministers Association in Glendale, other colleagues that I'm in touch with, another social group that's unrelated to ministry. And there is this continual theme of people just feeling worn down by this moment. I think one minister got on our call this week and he said, I gave my 27th virtual sermon. And I thought, you're keeping count? But it really spoke to just how worn down this experience has made us all feel. And so I started looking for some inspiration that I could share with you. And the message that I have for you, and the title of my lesson today is Don't Give Up. So this message is for you. If you have been feeling pushed by this moment, if you have been feeling just kicked around by just the circumstances that are happening, this message is for you. Don't give up. Don't give up. Let's say that together. Don't give up. So definitely make sure you have your notepad ready. I've got some good information for you. We're going to dive into one of my favorite parables as we explore the message, don't give up. All right. Before we get started, let's go ahead and have a meditation and just relax and center ourselves. Let's just do a very, very brief meditation today. I want you to hold on to the mantra, God is on my side. God is biased toward my success. God is biased toward my success. As you watch the image on the screen or close your eyes, let that roll around in your heart. God is biased toward my success. God is biased toward my success. Feel yourself relax. God is biased toward my success. Each time you say it, feel your body relax even more. God is biased toward my success. That God is biased toward my success. God is biased toward my success. As we bring this moment of quiet to a close, take with you the sense of peace, the sense of comfort, knowing that God is biased for your success. God bless you.
Thank you, Reverend Sherri, for that beautiful meditation. How are you, Up Church family? It's Reverend Sheree Thompson here, and it is my joy to be with you today. I get the opportunity to just wrap my arms around you to welcome you to Up Church. If you have been visiting with us, if you're a member of Up Church, you already know that we are a powerful, loving spiritual community, and we're committed to your spiritual growth. It is exactly what we're here for. We want to love you up to your true potential. And so one of the ways that we affirm who we are, that we remember that we're here to rise up to our true potential, is we share our spiritual names. So you may be calling yourself all kind of things. You may be defining yourself by roles that you play in life. But we're here to let you know that who you are is a child of God. Who you are is an emanation of the Creator. And we want you to affirm your spiritual name here today. And so we do that by putting our I am with a quality of God. And so I'll demonstrate, and then I want you to put it into the chat. Tell me who you are. Put your I am next to one of the qualities of God. And so today I affirm I am power. Who are you? Write it in the chat. If you're with us live, put it in the live chat. If you're watching this video at another time, and we know there's no time and space in God, so take this opportunity to declare your spiritual name and just put it in the comments. If you're not watching live, you're not in the comments, I want you to know you don't have to do any of that. All that you have to do is declare your spiritual name. So I want you to basically participate in this consciousness of a body of beings knowing who they are spiritually, so that we can just let let go of any limitation that may have previously held us back from being what we're designed to be, who we're designed to be, and fulfilling our divine mission. So let's keep introducing ourselves. I know I see love out there. I know there's some courage out there. I know there's some health and vitality out there. I want to know who you are. So declare your spiritual name. And if you're joining us for the first time, if you just new to Up Church or just been coming for a short while, I want you to know that our doors are always open to you. And so we want you to know that if you're interested in being a part of this community, if you'd like to really plant yourself and grow here spiritually, that all you need to do is take a first step. And you can either call us or email us. That information is right here, right on the screen, that you can call us or you can email us. It's really easy, upchurch@upchurch.org. And just say, I want to know the next step. I'm interested in being a member. I'm sure I want to be a member. Let me know what's next. Either whatever your question is, we just want to know that you're ready to stand up. You just don't know how ready you are. And we will help you and guide you to a firm decision of commitment. We really appreciate that you're here worshiping with us. We're glad that now you know who you're worshiping with. Though you may not be able to see one another eye to eye, we can feel one another heart to heart. So just continue to share who you really are. We'll continuously shout you out. Make sure you know that you are seen, loved, and appreciated. And we're just so grateful that you're here. I'm going to turn the service over to one of our beloved teachers. I have Miss Barbara Kimball, who's going to give us the daily inspiration for today. I love you, Miss Barbara. I can't wait to hear the inspiration.
Good afternoon, church. I'm reading the daily inspiration from Sunday, September 20th, 2020. Why are you judging? In this wonderful world that we live in, things are not always as they seem, and appearances can be misleading. We must be mindful of the negative energy rooted in making assumptions based upon our limited and narrow perceptions. It is a wonderful, worthwhile practice to not draw conclusions when we have not read or are aware of the full story. I must remember that I am with all God's children, and I stand in judgment of no one. We come forth on this earth plane to teach, to learn, and to grow. In life's educational system, we have our unique assignments to complete and lessons to learn. Our soul development is an individualized process, and at times we may require tutoring. When we judge another, who are we really judging? Ourselves? We can not see in others what is not in us, whether we admit it or not. I commit to magnifying the greatness in those who share my world, so that we may rise spiritually higher together and live as one. John 8:7, he that is without sin among you, let him cast the first stone. And so it is.
Thank you so much, Miss Barbara, for that daily inspiration. It's now time for our affirmation of power. So we've heard an inspiration and we read along, but now it's time for us to participate, to speak the word of power for ourselves. And so I will speak the affirmation and then you're going to see it on the screen and we will say it together. God's divine perfect order is everywhere evenly present. I am comforted that the same order that I see in nature and in the universe is available to me. Right now, I allow God's divine order to be established in my mind, in my word, in my actions, and in my reactions. And I am at peace. Let's affirm that together. God's divine perfect order is everywhere evenly present. I am comforted that the same order that I see in nature and in the universe is available to me. Right now, I allow God's divine order to be established in my mind, in my word, in my actions, and in my reactions. And I am at peace. And so it is. It is so, so powerful to speak the word of truth to yourself about yourself. Take this affirmation and work with it this week. We are so grateful to have all of these tools to help us grow. I'm going to turn the service over now to our worship team, but first you're going to hear a powerful testimony. One of our beloved singers, you're going to hear, you've heard her sing before. Now you're going to hear more about her. This is Jade sharing her testimony.
I am just so grateful for the experience that I've been having at Upchurch. I feel like it's taught me the importance of community because we're such a big, happy family there. And I feel like it's just helped me to believe in myself and to grow and to experience just complete transparency, complete vulnerability. It's allowed me to see the power in me and to see that I can do anything I put my mind to. And if I just put, effort and will and determination to the things that I want, that I can do anything and I have no lack. So thank you, Upchurch, for just blessing me and continuing to bless me.
Wishikwa mudam rafum fame.
Wishikwa
mudam rafum flame.
Wishikwa
Yeah, and the wind is talking. Yeah, for the very first time. Will the melodies that pulls you towards it, painting pictures of paradise, saying, rise up to the light in the sky. Watch the light lift your heart up, burn your flames through the night. Whoa, spirit, watch the heavens open, yeah. Spirit, can you hear it calling, yeah. Yeah, and the water's crashing, trying to keep your head up high. When you're trembling, that's when the magic happens, and the stars gather by your side, saying, rise up to the light in the sky. Watch the light lift your heart up, burn your flame through the night. Oh, spirit, watch the heavens open, yeah. Spirit, can you hear it calling, yeah. Your destiny is coming close. Stand up and
We just need a moment to drink that in, huh? We, we need a moment to just take that in. Oh my God. Go into your promised land and be one with the great I am. That's the invitation that's in front of us right now. To go into the promised land and be one with the great I am. Listen, if we were in our in-person services, we would really just have to have a moment right now. And this virtual space doesn't really give us that opportunity to have that moment. So I'm trying to give it to you in this virtual space, but I know that we need a moment to drink that in. Thank you, worship team. Thank you. That was your creativity. You're doing some of your best work. You're doing some of your best work, and it is beautiful to witness and to see and to just be a part of it. And I thank you for what you give to this ministry. All right, family, let's take a collective breath. Just take a collective breath. One more time. And third time, may as well get 3 breaths in. Okay, so the reason I wanted to just take a breath is because so much is happening in our world. So much is happening. I mean, we've got a chaotic political climate. We are in a public health crisis, the likes of which none of us have ever lived through. It's like nothing we've ever seen. We've got social unrest. Every day there's a new report of some new level of crazy that's coming out. And, you know, it's not just that there's all this chaos, but it's also this extended isolation. And I don't know about you, but I have been feeling very blah. Like, what are we doing? Like, what is this all for? Why am I making the choices that I'm making? Where is this going? And I will tell you that you know, I really have been at this almost like at a crossroads. And it wasn't until I had different conversations with different groups of people this week, with ministers, with creatives, with just, you know, regular everyday folk, that I really realized that we're all feeling this extreme pressure on our shoulders, and it's creating this experience where it's like we're feeling worn down. You know, we're missing the opportunity to connect with one another. I don't know when we'll be able to travel again. And, you know, it's not like we can't look at this moment and find something positive. There's a lot of positive things that are happening right now. But when do we get, like, are we tired of trying to make lemonade out of lemons? When does life get back to normal? So I was looking for a story that might help capture the feeling of this moment. And I turned to the story of the importunate widow. The importunate widow, and it's found in the 18th chapter of Luke. It's first 8 verses, 18th chapter of Luke. And I'm going to read it to you, but you can look it up later. Then Jesus told them a parable about their need to pray always and not to lose heart. He said, in a certain city, there was a judge who neither feared God nor had respect for people. In that city, there was a widow who kept coming to him and saying, grant me justice against my opponent. For a while he refused her, but later he said to himself, though I have no fear of God and no respect for anyone, yet because this widow keeps bothering me, I will grant her justice so that she may not wear me out by continually coming. And the Lord said, listen to what the unjust judge says. And will not God grant justice to his chosen ones who cry to him day and night? Will he delay long in helping them? I tell you, he will quickly grant justice to them. So first, let me give you a definition of importunate. Importunate means persistent, especially to the point of annoyance or intrusion. It means insistent, tenacious, persevering, dogged. This widow was dogged. She kept going to the judge until. She was persevering. She was unrelenting. She was tireless and stubborn. Are you getting the picture? She was not going to quit until she had what she required. Second, let me make a few notes of things that I think are important to the story. And the first thing is that the judge never sees her side. He just doesn't want to be bothered with her. He never sees her side. It's not like he comes from some like, oh, this is not right, what's happening to this widow. He just don't want to be bothered with her. And it doesn't appear that there's anybody representing her. It seems like she's probably representing or arguing her case on her own behalf, as far as we know. And it's unclear like how many times she went to the judge, but she keeps going. And there's no clear like when or if things are going to work out in her favor. And what makes this moment that we're living through, like what the widow probably went through, is not just that things are changing at an ever increasing pace. What makes this moment challenging is that we don't know when things are going to get better. You know, in this story, the widow wants justice and she has to go to the judge to get it, but the judge keeps putting her off and she doesn't know if he's going to grant her plea on the first try, the 10th try, the 20th try. The story doesn't really specify how long the widow petitioned the judge before he gave in. It only specifies that he finally came around so that the widow would stop bothering him. What makes a person pursue a course of action when no one around them seems to care or support them? What is that? Because the parable is very clear to point out that the judge doesn't fear God and don't care what other people think. So you can't lord anything over him because he could give a crap. What do you think is going on in the widow's heart that made her persist anyway? I mean, clearly she felt entitled to the justice that she sought. Earlier this week, I asked a question of the people who joined me for Soul Refresh Wednesday. And this was the question: what would you do if you knew that you were 100% worthy of it? Or this, it could be a job, a relationship, a certain health outcome, a certain salary level. What would you do if you knew that you were 100% worthy of this? Clearly, the widow understands that she is worthy of the justice she seeks because she pursued it until she got it. Your self-worth is your job. It's my first point. Your self-worth is your job. No one could tell the widow that she was worth it. She had to tell herself. Now, I don't know what thing you're not taking action on. Maybe it's taking time to care for yourself, or maybe it's pursuing an opportunity that seems bigger than you. But what I know for sure is that when you know that you are 100% worthy of it, you will go forward with everything in you, and you will not stop until you achieve the results you desire. What's beautiful about this story is that Jesus doesn't make us guess at how to build self-worth. In verse 7, he says to his listeners, listen to what the unjust judge says. And he directs them back to the words of the unjust judge. Though I have no fear of God, I ain't worried about no karma. I ain't worried about what goes around comes around. I don't fear nothing. I'm going to do whatever I want. And no respect for anyone. Not only do I not fear karma, but I also don't care what other people think. And yet, because this widow keeps bothering me, I will grant her justice so that she may not wear me out by continually coming. He is not interested in what is right. He is interested only in his own comfort and care. And then Jesus adds, and will not God grant justice to his chosen ones who cry to him day and night? Will he delay long in helping them? I tell you, he will quickly grant justice to them. What we learn from the judge's own words is that the widow is relentlessly persistent in her pursuit of judgment and justice. And we know from Jesus's commentary that she goes to God daily about the situation. That is our solution for building self-worth. It's simple. Pray and move your feet. Pray and move your feet. When you pray inwardly and act outwardly on any matter, your self-worth about the thing is built exponentially. When you pray inwardly and act outwardly on any matter, your self-worth is built exponentially. The sense of entitlement the widow needed to have in order to achieve her desired results may not have been there on day 1 or day 2 or day 3 or day 30, but each day that she pursued her desired justice, the self-worth that was needed to produce the result manifested. You don't need to believe that you're fully worth it to get started, but you do need to get started to build the self-worth to have it. All right, so let's look at the metaphysics of the story, because we want to see if there's some additional things that we can grab out of this story. So the widow, metaphysically, the widow represents a condition in our experience where something is needed to make life whole and complete. Something is needed. And the judge symbolizes conditions or circumstances that seem to hold back our desires, our desired good, or stand in the way of its manifestation. So the widow represents this unmet desire in your life. It's something that you would really like to have right now. I don't know what that is. It could be something intangible like peace of mind, or it could be a new car. But it's something, some condition in your life, some need that you desire to be met that's not right now being met. It could be a desire for greater health, but it's some unmet need that you have. And the judge represents the reason why you don't have it. So the widow desired justice, but the judge was the avenue by which justice had to be given out or distributed. And so the judge is in the way of her receiving the justice that she requires. I want to point out again, the judge is wholly unconcerned with being in the way of the widow's desire for justice. He has little care for right or wrong. And even when he grants her justice, he doesn't come from some moral high ground. He just doesn't want to be bothered with her. His comfort and his care is his highest priority, not the widow's. and the judge in your life may be equally as uninterested in your comfort and care. You may be reaching for an outcome, and the thing that stands in your way could care less about what you want. What you need and want doesn't mean anything to the person or thing that seems to be in your way. And what the widow shows us is that we don't need outside agreement in order to have our needs met. We don't need outside agreement. And so point number 3, outside agreement is optional. Outside agreement is optional because too often we don't pursue avenues that would benefit us because we are waiting for somebody outside of us to agree that we can have the thing that we desire. We're looking for someone who represents some level of authority to say that it is okay for us to have the thing that we require. And what the widow is showing us is that you have to give you the permission to pursue what's important to you. If the widow had not advocated for herself, it is unlikely she would have received the justice she deserved. And often we want others to do right by us, but the mark of a spiritually mature person is one who chooses to do right by themselves. What do you need to be made whole? What do you require for your well-being? This widow shows us that even if we should advocate for ourselves, even if no one around us believes that we deserve it or cares to get involved with helping us achieve it, I don't need anybody to say that it's okay in order for me to do what is best for me. I go back to the question that I asked before. What would you do about it if you knew you were 100% worthy of it? Point number 4, nothing is in your way. That's the real truth. That's the real thing. Metaphysically, the unjust judge symbolizes human judgment in human nature. In other words, your opinion. That's what the judge symbolizes. The judge symbolizes your opinion. What's in the way between you and the good you seek is not a person, place, or thing. It is simply your opinion. And the widow proves, I think it's key that it's a widow that is the hero of this story, because widows in ancient times had no support. A widow was someone who did not have a male relative who would stand up and be responsible for their well-being. And so it was catch as catch can. You just had to do your very best. And so often you will hear prophets say, remember the widows and the orphans. You got to take care of the widows and the orphans. That there were these women who perhaps they were older, I'm not sure, not necessarily to be a widow, but the point is that there was no male relative. I guess they probably would have been older because they would have gone to a brother or a father or whatever. But they had no one who stood up and said, hey, I'm going to be responsible for this person. I'll make sure that this person is cared for. And so what the story is pointing out is that what is between the widow, what is between you and the thing that you desire is not a person, place, or thing. It is an opinion. It is simply what you think about it. And so this is what gets worn down when you become, when you develop the self-worth to have what you say should be yours. When you develop the self-worth to have it, the opinion that was in the way gets worn down and obliterated and returned back to the nothingness that from whence it came. And so nothing is in your way. Nothing is in your way. And so I want you to affirm with me, nothing can hold back that which is rightfully mine. Nothing can hold back that which rightfully belongs to me. Nothing can hold back that which rightfully belongs to me. And follow it up, I am open and receptive to receive my good. I am open and receptive to receive my good. So let's talk about what is rightfully yours. What is rightfully yours is what you have supplied the consciousness to receive. What is rightfully yours is what you have supplied the consciousness to receive. So consciousness is awareness. What are you aware of? What can you see for yourself? Consciousness is what you have the ability to perceive. When I ask, what do you have the consciousness to do? What I'm really asking is, what do you have the awareness to do? Two people looking at the same set of circumstances will produce two different outcomes because of their level of awareness. It's the awareness that they bring, even though the elements might be the same, what they do with those elements will be a function of what they are aware of. Opportunities are everywhere, but you only have the ability to take advantage of what you are aware of. So if the opportunity comes along, but you don't have the awareness to see it, the consciousness to see it, it's as if it doesn't exist. And for you, it doesn't exist. And so the question is, what can you see for yourself? What can you see for yourself? The reason that mentors are so powerful is that they bring an awareness that you don't have. And mentors don't have to be someone that's older than you. It's just simply someone that has a greater awareness of a thing than you do. So you can be mentored by someone much younger than you. What do you have the awareness, the consciousness to see, to perceive? Point number 5, consciousness is more than outer appearances. So often people will judge a person's consciousness by what they see on the outside, but if outer appearances matter, the widow never would have received her good. And anybody looking at her circumstance would have said she's not going to get her desired good. She didn't have the look, she didn't have the resources, she didn't have the right zip code. But the thing is that consciousness is the sum total of all of your thoughts and feelings. In other words, when I add up everything that you think and feel, what does it equal? And you know the answer by whether or not you have, by what you have in your experience. Let me say it this way. Let's use some simple math. 1 plus 1 is 2. 1 can only be a vibrational match to 2 if there's another 1. 1 can't be a vibrational match to the number 4 unless there's 3. Take away the 3 and the 1 is no longer a match for the number 4. It has to add up. It's simple math. If you think of your thoughts and your feelings as like numbers and you add them up, what do they equal? Do they equal what you're asking God for? And what Jesus has given us in this parable is the formula for making our thoughts and feelings equal what we're asking for. It is to go to God in prayer daily and take outer action. Pray inwardly, act outwardly. Pray inwardly, act. It's simple. It's simple. And so point number 6, God can only give you what you are a vibrational match for. God can only give you what you have the consciousness for. If the consciousness is not there, there's no place for you to receive it or have it in your life. When I think about like what is in the way, right? We know it's an opinion, but when I examined my own life and looked at the things that I desired that hadn't come to pass, I found out something interesting. And I don't know if this is true for you, but I found that many times I was praying for things inwardly that I was doing nothing about outwardly. And I was reaching for things outwardly that I was not praying for inwardly. So it wasn't that I didn't desire, it wasn't that I wasn't praying. The prayer was happening, but it wasn't backed up by outer action. Or else I had this outer action, but it wasn't backed up by a consistent prayer life supporting it. It's both and, not either or. Remember, the widow developed the self-worth through prayer and action. She prayed and she moved her feet. That 1-2 combination made her a vibrational match for the justice that she sought. As my friend Reverend Galen McDowell has often said, make sure the tongue in your shoe and the tongue in your mouth are pointed in the same direction. We don't need perfect outer conditions. What we need is that what I'm doing inwardly and what I'm doing outwardly is a match. And however it needs to come about, even if it has to come from someone who doesn't even want to give me what it is that is rightfully mine, if I'm lined up on the inside and the outside, no one can keep from me that which is rightfully mine. I have made myself a vibrational match for it, and nothing in the world can keep me from having it. A flower can grow through concrete just as well as it can grow in a manicured garden. Your needs can be met regardless of what happens around you. Everything might be falling apart. Look at this, what's happening in our world right now. Everything is in some ways falling apart, but none of it has any bearing on your ability to receive that which rightfully belongs to you. You become a match for what you desire, and nothing on earth couldn't keep it for you. And so resolve today to become a match for the good that you seek. Develop the self-worth required to have the good that you seek. And you know how to do it. You make the subject of your prayers and the object of your actions line up with one another. So I'm not praying for one thing but doing something else, or doing one thing and praying for something else. If you do that, it will not matter who your parents are, who your grandparents are, whether or not you came from the right side of the tracks or the wrong side of the tracks, the right school, the wrong school, or no school. Make your inner prayer and your outer action agree, and that which seems to elude you must yield to you. God has not made living hard. That's the truth. God did not put us down on this big ball and then make us have to just, by the sweat of our brow, figure stuff out. It's a simple formula, and this story of the importunate widow shows us. Pray whatever it is that you desire. Get clear on it. Go to God about it on a daily basis. Set an appointment and put it on your calendar like an appointment, that like a doctor's appointment that you wouldn't miss. And meet God in prayer about it on a daily basis. And then make sure that 24 hours don't pass without you doing at least one thing to move it forward. God is faithful to deliver to those who follow the formula. God is faithful to those who who deliver. We can't get my words together. God is faithful to deliver on the formula to those who follow it. Pray and move your feet. And so the question is, will you work the formula? Will you do the work to be a match for the good you seek? God bless you.
Great is thy faithfulness, O God, my Father. There is no shadow of turning with thee. Thou changest not, thy compassion, they fail not. As thou hast been, thou forever will be. Great is thy faithfulness, great is thy faithfulness. Morning by morning
All right, family, it is time to set the law of giving and receiving into action.
I give in love. I give in love, love, love. All that I have and all I receive will be multiplied. I'm in the flow. I'm in the flow, flow, flow. I'm sending it out and it's coming back in. He supplies my every need.
It is week 39 of our building fund, and we have multiple ways for you to support. You can text the word UPCHURCH to 73256 and complete your gift that way. You can go to our website at upchurch.org and choose Give Online, or you can use Cash App, and our Cash App ID is $UpChurchLA. And finally, you can use the mail. The mail still works. 600 West Queen Street, Inglewood, California, 90301. Thank you in advance for supporting this ministry. We appreciate you.
I give in love. I give in love, love, love. All that I have and all I receive will be multiplied. I'm in the flow. I'm in the flow, flow, flow. I'm sending it out and it's coming back in. He supplies my every need.
Okay, time to bless our offering. Read along with me. Divine love through me blesses and multiplies all that I have, all that I give, and all that I receive. I give in love and I trust God. All right, let's back it up with a declaration. I am in the flow. I send it out and it comes back. I participate in the law of giving and receiving, and I am a cheerful giver. My Father, Mother, God supplies all my needs. Thank you, God. What a tremendous Sunday we have had. Has this not been incredible? To just drinking it all in, every little bit. Thank you, thank you, thank you, everyone who had a hand in making today amazing. Thank you for being a part of it. I also want to thank you for being here. I want to let you know, we've been doing a sermon after party on Instagram, and it was a pilot, and the pilot was successful. We got more followers on Instagram, but now we're bringing it to a close. And so today and tomorrow, next Sunday will be our last 2 sermon after parties on Instagram Live. So definitely encouraging you to come check it out. Come be a part of the conversation that we have this evening, and really participate, dial into it. We want to see you there. And these are our last 2 sermon after parties. So check us out at Up Church Live. Is it Up Church Live? Up Church LA? I think it's Up Church Live. Well, anyway, the lower third will be down there letting you know how to find us. All right, let's take our prayer of protection. The light of God surrounds us. The love of God enfolds us. The power of God protects us, and the presence of God watches over us. Wherever we are, God is, and so it is. Have an absolutely beautiful Sunday. I'll see you tonight at that sermon after party, or I'll see you next week back here, same time, same social media channel. God bless.